printed it out. We got collections, student loans. Student loans. Someone just posted online that if someone says you could delete a student loan, don't believe them. But yet here it is, deleted.
Week I deleted for Experian deleted all my hard inquiries.
And so far, just with personal information, it's gone up about 100 points.
This was a 30-day update.
That's a 30-day update. Okay.
30-day update.
What, is that saying 39 accounts deleted?
39.
I think I need my glasses because I'm not seeing it correctly.
Crazy, bro. Listen, watch an ebook like 3 or 4 months ago, bro. You know, I read your entire ebook. Immediately, man, I start implementing the steps. I start reading the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, Truth in Lending. Like, I got a couple lawsuits going right now and everything. Started out with my wife, fam. I started out deleting my wife's personal information first, right? I deleted all her personal information, and then I sent in a letter stating 15 USC 1681 C2, the block of information resulting from identity theft. I went through all the steps, 1681, and I deleted my wife information like that. I deleted credit card accounts, auto loans. I deleted pretty much everything, man.
Out of all the credit repair experts, he's the one that goes really deep into consumer law. He's helped me remove collections.
He's helping people get financially free.
Due to the fact that I updated my personal information, it was a collection that automatically dropped off due to the fact that I followed the first steps. Don't jump. I remember from last week, my mentor's words was, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, take your time. So this week, update status of this week. By the way, guys, gang, listen up. Flashcards, it works. It works wonders. These questions is a beautiful thing. Now, BA mortgage, I ran back last year. I called them to delete the hard inquiry off.
But it comes to actually removing stuff off your credit report, he knows what he's doing. So don't be afraid, give it a try, and get in the program.
Late payments, there you go. That's what you
I
wanted
thought
to
they
see.
said we couldn't delete late payments.
But no, say that right there, deleted.
You said delete. All right, so we are back with your favorite consumer law expert, guys. What's up? I got a very special guest today, a very, very, very special guest because let me give you a little background. So legal representation is one of the things that our community is lacking, right? And a lot of people believe that they have to go to an attorney to go pay $300, $500 for a consultation. When I met this king right here, Alistair, I got told that, yo, Daraine, that's not the case. You can get legal representation at your fingertips, in your pocket 24/7. So today, my good friend Alistair is here. He's from Legal Shield, and I'm going to tell you guys why you need to have legal protection 24 hours in your pocket at your fingertips, ready to go. So Alistair, what's going on? Introduce yourself, tell the people who you are, and why you're just so great at what you do.
I appreciate that, man. Alistair Edwards, like I said, born in England, grew up in Jamaica, here in America. Yardman, you know, coming across the country, and the first experience I had was with an officer.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? I was, my parents did a house exchange, and it just so happened we exchanged houses with a Jewish family who lived in a white neighborhood. They wanted to retire, older couple. They moved to Jamaica, lived in our house. And my second week here, walking into the house, the police surrounded the house and pulled me out.
Pulled you out?
Yanked me through the front door, put me on the ground, put guns to my head and said he got him. And I said, I live here, and they laughed. There's no way this young black man.
So you were being profiled?
I was being profiled. And luckily, my mother came with it. You know, she had just happened to be pulling up a few minutes after. I was 14 years old, 2 weeks in America.
Wow, that must have been a scary experience.
I still remember it to this day. But when I came across Legal Shield, one of the things that it said is you have 24-hour access for any emergency situation, meaning you can call an attorney at any time. And I can only imagine what that experience was or how different it would have gone had I known my rights. But more so had access to my rights. I always say to people, it doesn't matter if you know your rights. If you don't have access to them, you might as well not have them.
drop a bomb for that section. Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, run that back. Run that part back again.
If you don't know your rights, it doesn't make sense just to know your rights, because if you know your rights but don't have access to them, you might as well not know them. Right?
That's a whole bar.
They're only good if you have access to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I started working with public supermarkets when I was 14, 15, did a 27-year career with them. And in 2003, someone asked me to look at what is now called Legal Shield. And it took me 6 months to look at it because I just didn't think it was possible. I thought it was a scam.
Mm-hmm.
For you to tell me I can have access to some of the top-ranked law firms across the country and only pay a small monthly fee, I was like, there's got to be a catch.
People are used to $300, $500, for a consultation from a lawyer. So that sounds just buku right now, just hearing about it.
I mean, I'm thinking, you know, have they passed the bar? Are they behind the bar? Are they at the bar? I mean, what kind
are
of...
They over the bar?
Are they over the bar? You know
are they waiting on the bar?
Right. So I'm just trying to figure out what kind of law firm. And then, you know, eventually, after major convincing, the guy that got me in the business got me to go to a presentation. And it just made sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was the same time I was getting ready. 2 of my kids are adopted. They're in their 20s now, but they were about 5 and 6 at the time. And I needed to get a will done. And my frat brother, who was an attorney, was going to do it for me for a discount. He said, I'll do it for you for $500. He said, I usually charge $1,200. And I go to this presentation, and they say, we do your will, your living will, and your medical health care directive. And it's included in the membership for like $29 a month.
Wow.
I was like, well, let me try that first. And if that don't work, then I'll pay the $500.
So you're saying that a cost that would be about $1,200 for the regular person, through Legal Shield, you were able to get that for a $29.99 a month?
Yeah. So they'll do your will, your living will, your medical health care directive, and your financial directive for you and your spouse or significant other. So you're basically getting two.
Oh, wow.
Two done for that one price.
Wow.
Yeah.
Drop some fire in the chat for Legal Shield. All right, I got excited. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So, you know, and that's just one of the features of the benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what is most important about their feature is they give you unlimited telephone consultation, meaning you can call in and...
You said unlimited?
Unlimited. So at any time you can call in, ask whatever question it is. The person that intakes the call is going to give you a case number, and then they're going to find the attorney in the network that has the expertise in that area of law. So you may call in at 1 o'clock and say, I got a question about my taxes. You can call back at 2 o'clock and say, I'm dealing with a family issue. You get a family attorney. So now you got a family attorney calling you back. You got a tax attorney calling you back for a different situation. And
for how much?
$29.95 a month.
Not $1,200.
No. Consultations are free. And if the attorney thinks a letter or phone call will make a difference, they'll write the letter or make the phone call for you.
Bruh.
I've been a member now going on 20 years. I mean, when my one of my cars driving down to Florida, I'm in the left lane, semi to the right, car behind me, no median to the left. My foot's on the gas pedal and the speedometer goes down to 0. Scary feeling. Pulled over, had the car towed to the dealer. Dealer called me the next day and said, Mr. Edwards, you got 190,000 miles on this car. It's lived this life. He said, I got 2 options. I can get you a used engine for about $3,000 or $4,000. I get you a brand new one for about $8,000. You got to pay for labor and parts. I said, well, let me think about it. I hung up and I do what I always do now that I have legal counsel. I tapped the app on my phone. I called my law firm. Attorney called me back. He said, Mr. Edwards, give me the make and the model. Let me do some research. Calls me back a couple hours later. He says, hey, good news. There's a recall on that model. He said, I'm going ahead and write a letter to their corporate office for you. 7 days later, the same dealer that called me and said it would be $8,000. He said, Mr. Edwards got some good news. Our corporate office called. They're shipping me a brand new engine for your car.
Oh, wow.
Take me 2 days to properly install it. Once it's completed, you can come pick the car up, and the corporate office is picking up the tab.
A brand new engine.
Yep.
So basically, that mileage just went back to 0.
Yeah.
Brand new engine.
Basically.
Oh, wow.
From one letter from a law firm.
Yo.
I didn't have to pay anything extra. That was included in that $29.95 a month.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I already told you about wills. I mean, if we all, would you agree we pay too much for car insurance?
Oh yeah,
so
dude.
If you get
dude, you don't want to get my horror story.
Well, imagine if you get a speeding ticket or a moving violation. What happens to your points?
Speeding ticket?
Yeah. So if you get a speeding ticket or a moving violation, now you get points on your license. Your insurance is going to go even higher.
True.
Well, as a member of Legal Shield, you just pull your phone out, take a picture of that ticket, hit send, it goes directly to the law firm.
Wait. What?
Yep. And then their first objective is to see if they can go to court and get those points removed. So that way your insurance doesn't go up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I'm not proud to say, but between me and my 3 kids, we've tested that area thoroughly. Right? My insurance company swears we're all perfect drivers because we've always had success with our legal shield attorneys, making sure there are no points on our license. Yeah. So it's just a good benefit to have. And I tell you why you need to have a will. I usually never really talk much about a will. But in 2021, I went back to the doctor to get the results from a physical, and he said, Alistair, for your age, you're probably one of the healthiest people in my office. That was on a Tuesday. That Saturday, I'm working out, and I felt something pop in my brain. Like I felt it. Blacked out for a minute, had a massive headache. And like an idiot, I just took some aspirin and Tylenol.
Well, that's what we were told, right? Go take some Tylenol or some aspirin.
Right. Monday, it got worse. Tuesday, I'm on a Zoom, and the lady on my team said, Mr. Edwards, with all due respect, you need to go to the doctor. You don't sound like yourself. Don't even look like yourself.
Oh, wow.
So I go to urgent care. The guy comes out, takes my vitals. I tell him what happened over the weekend. He hands me this yellow slip. He said, Mr. Edwards, you need to go straight to the hospital, like right now. I go to Kennestone Hospital. I check in. I hand them the slip. They rush me past everybody in the emergency room. Get me in a room. They do a CAT scan. They come back and do an MRI. And then right after that, a different doctor walks in. He said, Mr. Edwards, I'm the neurosurgeon on duty. He says, do you have a will? I say, yeah. He said, do you have a living will? I say, yeah. He said, do you have a medical health care directive? I say, yeah. He says, good. Since you have all those documents in place, we can move swiftly. He says, my surgical team will be up here in about 10 minutes to prep you. We're going into emergency surgery.
Surgery?
They did an angiogram. I had a busted blood vessel in my brain.
Oh, my God.
But I say all of that to say this. That surgery would have been delayed had I not have had a medical health care directive, had I not had a will, had I not had all those things in place. The average attorney, if you were to call a law firm right now and say, hey, I need to get my will done, right? Average attorney is going to charge you anywhere from $800 to $2,000, right? With this membership, they do that for you for free. It's included in the membership.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it just makes sense.
To just get it done and have it set up.
Just get it done. Yeah.
So you're saying you stayed ready so you didn't have to get ready to delay your surgery. Oh, wow. That's a whole...
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, of course, there are tax issues we all have to deal with. Would you agree? Well, if you ever get audited, you have the consultation of a tax attorney to help you through that situation.
Taxes.
And that doesn't cost you anything extra. That's included in the membership.
That's included in the membership.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you think about the value of what, and people always say, well, how do you get top rank attorneys to do this for $30 a month? And I always say to people, how do you watch billion-dollar production movies for $20 a month on Netflix?
Facts.
Right? It's collective buying power, right? Because they have a million people subscribing for a small amount on Netflix, they can put these blockbuster movies on there, and you only pay the small monthly fee. Well, it's the same thing with our Legal Shield services. Our provider attorney in every state gets a third of every payment on the 15th of every month.
Okay.
So, for example, in Georgia, I think we got about 60,000 families.
How much?
60,000 that have a Legal Shield membership.
Wow.
That pay anywhere between, some depending on how long they've been in the system, some pay as low as $14 a month. Now that the prices have gone up, some pay as much as $189 a month if they have our massive business plan. But the law firm's getting a third of that every month. So when you call in, the law firm's not thinking of you as the $30 customer. You're a part of the $1 million network they're being paid for every 30 days.
I see what you're saying.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they don't mind you paying the little bit because they're not getting the little bit. They're getting the collective of everybody in the pool. And so that's how we get those top-ranked law firms across the country to do it. I mean, we have a former attorney generals that are now provider attorneys for our law firm.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a huge win right there.
Yeah. It's AV-rated law firms. It's top-ranked law firms all across the country.
So I wanted to switch gears a little bit because everybody on the channel know I specialize in consumer law and credit. And a lot of the issues and the calls that I get is that debt collectors are suing me, debt collectors are dragging me to court, the sheriff just gave me a notice, right? Like I'm getting these questions. And with the internet, you got to be careful because people say, oh, you're giving legal advice. I'm not giving legal advice. And it's one of the reasons why we partnered with Legal Shield, because when it comes to the court situation, people get scared. They don't want to answer their phones. They're hiding from debt collectors. Like, they are so scared. And I want you to shed some more light on that aspect of having Legal Shield and how Legal Shield can assist them with these matters.
Okay. So first of all, you talked about sheriffs coming to my door or people coming to my door. Remember, you have that 24-hour emergency access. That's considered an emergency situation. So if you get in a car accident late at night, you're being questioned. Or
Car accidents too?
Yeah. So if you're in a car accident and you need to know what to do, for example, it's funny. One of my business partners, a truck, kind of came across and messed her car, totaled her car up. She called me hysterical. The first thing I told her to do was what? Tap your app, call your law firm. The law firm, told her, hey, first of all, he asked good questions. He said, are you okay? Yeah. Are you in a safe place? Yeah. He said, look, make sure you walk around the truck, get a picture of the DOT number on the side of the truck. He says, I want the number on the cab and I want the number on the package, right? So on both ends of the truck. He says, also take pictures of everything around you and we'll open up a case file. I mean, that's at 8 o'clock at night. You're able to get the proper advice to know what to do.
Wow.
Right? But also, if anyone knocks on your door issuing anything and they're saying it's time for you to go, we need to take you, you have Miranda rights. You can have your attorney, be able to lower the temperature of that situation and walk you through that. And then when you talk about getting letters and phone calls written, one of the features of it is they do letters and phone calls. So if you say, hey, I feel that a letter would make my situation better, the law firm deems that a letter can make a difference, they'll write that letter or make that phone call for you.
Send to that debt collector.
Send it to that
creditor.
collector, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And the good news is they'll draft it first, let you look at it. If you think you don't like the way it looks, you can make suggestions to it. And if the attorney agrees with the suggestions, they'll send that letter on their letterhead. Now think about this. I always say this to people. If I send a letter to a company on my legal pad, it goes to the customer service department. If the law firm sends the exact same letter on their letterhead, it goes to their legal department.
I see.
There's a different response.
Totally different response.
Totally different response.
Interesting.
I've had customers call me and say, hey, I've got 3 months free of cable because my cable went out for a month and I went back and forth with them. And because they were still billing me, I called the law firm. The law firm made them give me 3 months free because I was inconvenienced. Didn't cost that customer anything extra.
Oh, wow.
Right? I'm just saying to people all the time, here's why I have a Legal Shield membership. Imagine being able to wake up and know that every decision you make from this point forward is the right one. What would that be worth to you? I want you to think about that.
That's a huge bar right there.
Would it be worth $1 a day? And what I mean by that is any decision I have to make, I call the law firm and get a second opinion. Now, there are times I don't like the answer. I'll be honest. But it's better to know before I make a stupid decision and get in an even worse situation.
Facts, big facts.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the benefit of having the membership. And the good news, it covers the member's spouse, and any dependents up under the age of 26.
So there's two things now. So, right, I signed up for the family plan and I also signed up for the business plan, right? Could you give me some insights to share to everybody? Because a lot of people that come to my channel, they are credit repair business owners or other type of business owners. And I think the business plan, the business package would really benefit them. But at the same time, they have families. And I want their families to be protected as well. So could you dive a little bit into the family and then the business?
So I'll actually recommend 3 plans. This is what I personally have. The family plan, right? So it's $29.95 a month. That protects me and my children. Right, that covers us in every legal situation. It covers any family situation. So if a contractor comes to my house and messes up, I can call the law firm. If I have an issue with my car, like I told you, I can call the law firm. If they get pulled over late at night, they can call a law firm. That's the family plan. We also have an ID Shield plan, our identity theft protection. So I have that also. Identity theft is now the #1 crime in America. They say it's the fastest growing crime. They say 1 out of every 3 Americans will be a victim.
I've been a victim too.
So we use ID Shield. Forbes just ranked them the #1 identity theft protection service. They monitor every single database, but most of all, they do what we call the restoration work. So if you become a victim of identity theft, you or anyone in your family, you have a licensed investigator assigned to your case whose sole responsibility is to restore your identity back to its original form. It's backed with a $1 million protection policy guarantee. Now, think about it. I don't know if for those of you that have been a victim of identity theft, just think about the headache you had to go through. First of all, who do I call? Where do I start, right? Why worry about that? You give power of attorney to your licensed investigator, the person that has the experience in restoring identities, and you go back to your business and let that person handle that for you, right? It comes with a VPN, a virtual private network. So when you travel, you can use your personal internet without getting compromised, right? There's some other features that go on there. And because you've paired the identity theft with the legal plan, it also helps with some credit counseling. So if the identity theft plan looks at your report and says, well, hey, we should probably write a letter on this, they partner with the law firm. The law firm writes the letter. It goes out on their letterhead. And then what I recommend adding to that, what I've added is our $14.95 home-based business supplement. And what that does now is covers my business. So now I can have the law firm write debt collection letters on behalf of my business. So if I've done business with someone and they haven't paid me, I don't get upset. I call my law firm. My law firm writes a letter, a demand letter on their letterhead, right? And demands payment, letting them know that if they don't pay, it's going to be a legal situation. Think about it. If you owe me $1,000 and you get a letter from a law firm that says we're about to take you to court, and you know you owe me the $1,000, and now just because you've received a letter from a law firm, that now means you have to what? Defend yourself. Yeah. So now you got to go hire an attorney. But you already know that you're in the wrong because you owe me the money.
Correct.
You're thinking to yourself, do I want to go pay for an attorney and still end up paying the $1,000? What do you end up doing? You just
pay the $1,000. Yeah, pay me what you owe,
every one of my customers that have had a home-based business plan that has had people owe their money has called me and said, Alistair, thank you. Because it eliminates the garbage, right? It just holds people accountable. It also will make sure they do contract and document review. So if you have contracts that you're engaging in with your business, you definitely want to have that home-based business plan. Now, if you have a business that has what I would say 5 or more employees, you're in a brick and mortar location, it's a bigger operation, there's some other business plans that I recommend. There's a $49 plan, there is a $89 plan, and a $189. And what that does, it gives you it allows more users. So it could be you, your CEO, and your admin on the $49 plan. The $89 plan gives you, or $99 plan gives you 5 users.
Yes, because that's what I do. Because my executive, they all have a part.
So that way you can allow other people to call in on your behalf.
Yes, and that's exactly what I do.
If you're running a business, you want to have that plan to where you can have people on your team be able to call in on your behalf.
All my executives are on it.
Right, to protect the company. So, yeah.
Wow.
And there's some other plans. I mean, if you're a commercial driver out there, there's a commercial driver plan to just protect.
Meaning if I own a truck?
If you are a CDLP driver.
Really?
Think about it.
I got a lot of trucking people that tune into the channel.
Well, let me tell you what. Think about this. If you're a CDLP driver, depending on where you're driving through, it's a lot easier for that city to get a bigger chunk of income from a truck driver fine than it is from a private vehicle fine.
Interesting.
A speeding ticket in a car is what? $200, $300. Speeding ticket in a semi is $800, $900.
Really?
Yep. They target company things, right?
Oh, it makes sense.
Then there are what we call CSA laws, right? There are different laws that apply to CDLP are totally different than the laws that once you have a chauffeur's license, that's your income. Your income is dependent on that chauffeur's license.
Correct.
Right? So with a CDLP plan, you now have access to attorneys that all they specialize in is commercial driver's law. Wow. Yeah. So you have the same kind of coverage, but now it's for your commercial drivers, right? They also have a gun owner supplement. So if you are a gun owner,
I need to get my strap too. You know, I need to get my strap.
Just in case.
We're finna talk because I need to get my strap.
Well, worst case, in case you have to use your strap, right? Let's say you have to defend yourself. That's now a legal situation. Well, your trial defense is covered once you have that CDLP plan. I mean that gun owner supplement plan.
Interesting.
So they'll make sure
I don't think I have that on mine.
You can add that for the
I'm gonna add that because I need to get my strap, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got mine. Stay ready.
You're right.
Stay ready.
You're right.
But man, those are all great. It's a great company, great benefit to have, and
Most definitely. Well, thanks a lot for coming through, bro. I know you got a lot going on. You got thousands and thousands of people that's pulling you just to get this information. So I'm really happy that you were able to pass through today and really share this information because it's information that we need. It's information the community needs because it's time now that we say enough is enough. We need representation. And if y'all are telling me that $29.99 a month is too much for you, I don't know what to tell you, because it seems to me that your family and yourself don't mean as much for you to have them protected, for them to have this type of representation. Like, we've been behind the 8 ball for far too long. We've been discriminated for far too long. There's single moms on Section 8 being discriminated against because they're on Section 8. They cannot get an apartment because landlords and property management company are using, they're disqualifying them based on the voucher, and they're also disqualifying them, telling that them there's things coming up in their background about other evictions, which is false. So there's so many people right now that's being affected negatively, adverse action constantly being taken against them, credit cards closing on these clients and consumers because they might have had a late payment, which we even know those things don't really exist anyway. But these are the things that the people are facing: the late payments, the student loans, the mortgage fraud, the foreclosures, the repossession, and they don't have legal representation. Yeah. And everybody knows, and you know this too. You know you spend more than $30 a month doing dumb stuff. We know this.
Well, here's the even better reason why you should get a Legal Shield membership. It's actually costing you more not to have it, because even on the dumb stuff that you're spending money on, you can get some discounts because it comes with a members perks program.
Yeah.
So you have discounts at major vendors. You automatically become an Emerald Club member with National Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Discounts on rent-a-cars. 50% off Office Depot and Office Max. You get some discounts when you make color copies. There's shopping. I mean, when I travel, I book usually through my Legal Shield members perks, hotel rooms, discount. You know what I mean? So there's some other benefits that come along with it also. So it's just a great plan to have.
So I know that I'm missing one plan, and that's that gun supplement. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get myself right. I'm gonna get myself right. So again, thank you so much. Now, where can people find you? Are you on Instagram? Anywhere?
On Instagram, I'm Alistair.Edwards. So ALISTAIR.EDWARDS.
Yeah, and I'm going to have the link too in the description for people to sign up.
Most definitely.
And yeah, so you can do two things. I want you to text the word legal. So text the word legal to 917-993-5238. Text the word legal, Legal, text the word legal to 917-993-5238. You will be able to use that link to sign up today, and I will also have the link in the description. Thank you so much for coming through and really empowering and enlightening our community, because we need this type of information.
Well, I thank you for having me, man. I mean, I've been doing this now for 20 plus years, and it's one of those things that I'm mission driven about. I'm a firm believer that we should all have our Miranda rights protected, right? More than anything else. I lived it, and it ain't a good experience.
And the fact that you can recall that day so clear, it means it really left an impact on you.
Oh, it's traumatizing when you think about it. I mean, I've grown older and matured out it, but I'll never forget that day.
Wow. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how else to end this episode. Like, you need to be protected. You need legal protection 24 hours in your pocket at your fingertips. Any closing remarks?
No, I just want to say thank you, man. I appreciate what you're doing for the community and the people that you're helping, and I'm just glad to be partnered with someone that's doing that type of work in the community.
Absolutely amazing, man. See y'all next time. I'll give y'all another fire episode. And then, yeah, we got a lot more stuff coming y'all way. So see y'all soon. Later.